Thank everybody for being here. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call up Alexia to come help us do our flag salute. If everybody would stand, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One, two, three. One more. One, two, three.
All right, nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of our biggest crowd.
I know, you get to do it in front of a lot of people. So there's times we don't have anybody here. Nice. Okay. Approval of the agenda, any additions? We have two additions for some vouchers, two vouchers that got added to it. So those will be recorded into the thing. Okay, we'll move on to public comment, and we do have somebody, Dyke Dickey.
Yes, where do you want?
You can come right up here at the table here, sir, and sit, and you have 3 minutes, and we would love to hear what you have to say.
Hey.
Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me. It's nice to see all these students here.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Dyke Dickey. I'm a 1969 graduate of this school. And I have some questions actually that I'd like to have you ponder. 2 weeks ago.
One thing, I'm
Wednesday-
sorry,
Yeah.
not to interrupt you, just one thing. I just want you to understand, we cannot answer your
I
questions.
understand that.
Yes, but we want to listen to you, and if there is something that you need an answer to, and we can work with Mr. Darling, we can definitely get something back to you
Yeah.
through him. But anyway, go ahead,
Well,
sorry.
these are questions that I want the council to pose. 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, I noticed that there were a number of students out during class hours. And I assume that it was in coordination with the walkouts that happened in schools across Washington State. Now, my questions basically are, how did these students get out of class? Were there any repercussions to the students if they left without approval? Were the students' parents, did they sign a document that allowed the students out of class? Were the students' parents notified their student was out of class? Those are questions that I have, because it incurs the possibility of liability to the school district if it sanctioned the students to be out, and if it didn't, then the liability is still there, not only to the school district, but to me as a taxpayer. So I would just like to have some follow-up possibly from Mr. Darling about those issues. That's what I'd like.
Okay.
See if I have any other concerns here. No, I think that's about it.
Would you write your phone number down for me? Would you be okay leaving those papers with me?
No, it's probably not.
Okay, so that can I
Here.
give you a sticky? You can write
Oh, there you go.
phone number for me.
Mhm.
I'll give you a phone call. And then if you want reading your phone number out loud. So that I can-
This is Grandview handwriting.
He's used to it.
Yeah.
Mine's hand Grandview too. It's not very good sometimes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Okay, we're gonna move on now to our presentations. We have the cheer team who went down and did very, very well. So now you get to tell us about it.
And perform.
Just a quick routine, not the big one that I saw on the video.
Wrote somebody.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to the board and everybody in the school district. We were able to qualify to go to state this year, and so the girls will go around and just give you a little bit about their experience.
Well, hi, my name's Anaya. I'm a 10th grader and this is my second year in the program. And what I gained from the experience from state was just like how much accomplishment we had and how just amazing the feeling was. And it was just like a whole new world. It was actually really amazing.
Hi, my name's Aubrey Lozano. I'm a senior. This is my second year in the program. And something I gained from this experience was just a feeling of accomplishment with working so hard at practice to being able to finally qualify for state. So great.
Hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm a ninth grader. This is my first year doing cheer. And I think it was just so fun, like just being there and just having fun with all the girls at state. And yeah.
Hi, my name is Bella Matos. I'm a sophomore and this is my first year in cheer. And my experience at state was very rewarding and it pushed me out of my comfort zone and just showed me what we're all capable of.
Hi, my name is Akira Gomez. I'm a sophomore and this is my first year in the program. And I feel like it was just such a great experience to experience all these girls and all of our hard work all paid off in the end. And, glad that we got third place. And, yeah. My name is Marta Herrera. I'm a senior and it's my first year in the tree team. And something that I gained going to say is when you work hard for something, you get the outcome that you're looking for.
My name's Tiffany Verduska. I'm a 10th grader and this is my first year on the team. And I think I just gained a lot of confidence, like performing, and had a lot of fun, like bonding with everybody.
And hi, my name is Brandy. I'm a senior, and it's my first year in the program. My experience at state was just truly an honor, and it was just so much fun being able to see what all the teams had to bring to state, and it was just exciting and just fun to see something new.
Hi, my name is Shailene Corona Macarres. I'm a junior and this is my second year doing cheer. What I gained from the experience to state is a lot of confidence and being able to accomplish things that I would only really ever see other people do. I also really enjoyed the adrenaline that would rush through my body every time we would go up on stage.
My name is Giselle Perez. I am a junior. This is my first year in the program. And I just feel like I gained more confidence in myself and that teamwork really gets you to places.
My name is Suriel Almazan. I'm a senior and this is my first year in the program. And I would just like to say that thank you guys so much for this year. It was really fun. And it was just so exciting to see like small teams in such a big place, like seeing all these teams with over like 30, maybe even 20 girls. It was so surreal to be able to find a place like as a small team in the state. And it was just so exciting.
So we just hope to continue to grow the program, and thank you for your guys' support and allowing me to go from sideline to starting to compete. It's taken us 3 years to get here, and we hope to continue to grow and hopefully come back in a better spot next year. So thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Questions?
I got a couple questions. How many teams went to state?
107.
Is it all, there's no classification for this, is there?
We were part of the 2A game day small. There was only 5 teams in our category.
Oh, okay. So it was split up by those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how many do you have in the group total?
Total, we went with 13.
Nice. Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we're in the background.
I'm hiding behind him. I can't see the camera, so it can't see me, right?
Might have reflected off his head.
Yeah, it'll be the big flash.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Next, we're gonna have SAC.
Send it to YouTube.
Typing under pressure. It's good Jesse's here.
Yeah.
He's back there blocking it. Yes.
A robot asking if you're a robot.
It's been. Once you're.
But you can't, I can't see it.
Yeah, you.com.
Oh. Just people are looking at me.
You gotta have another 200.org. There you go.
Oh, geez.
Well, these firewalls, Jesse.
Yeah, that's what it
You're
looks
doing a
like.
great job.
It's gonna ask you for your.
Yeah, good thing you know
So you're
those.
not under pressure, we can just introduce ourselves right now.
There we go.
So my name is Angelina Espinosa, and this is my second year in the SAC, and this year I'm actually a lead with the community group, also with Carla. Now your turn, go ahead.
You're ready.
But you go ahead and say your name and your.
So my name is Carla Marquez and I've been a lead for 2 years, so since the beginning of the SAC.
My name is Aurelius Jeffrey. I'm a 2-year returning lead. I've been a lead for, I think, almost the entirety of SAC. I am, just like Carla, one of the originals. And
And then I can go ahead and just say this off of memory, but so we recently, January 22nd, we had our student, it was a student voice summit, and we had about, I think, was it, no, I was gonna say from schools. We had about like 5 schools. They were all like the schools within like our CWAC. So the whole purpose of it was just to kind of introduce all the other schools onto what us as the SAC are doing and how they could incorporate that within their school. Because we are like really the only school that has this, like the student voice group thing. And so like we had a bunch of different breakout rooms where we would discuss how we kind of created it and then how we got close within our admin. Then we just had like this was one of like I feel like our best breakout rooms that we had. It was like a Q&A where we would just have like other students ask questions and then we would just answer them like how we were to have like fixed that problem.
I emailed it to you.
Yeah.
That's not it. I'm gonna reshare it, but if you look in your email, it should be there too. I
So it
just
should,
reshared it.
I shared it with you, so it should show up in the shared with.
Go to type and then or say like where it says type and then
Right.
under shared with me. Yep.
And then touch screen.
And then presentation. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up. Shared with you. It's shared. I shared it like 2 times, so that
No, I did too.
Not that one. School board progress.
it would be, it's titled 224 board meeting. Yeah, those are all old ones.
Mhm.
Maybe hit refresh. And then look and share with me again. Oh.
I
Maybe,
don't know why it's not. Do
interesting. Yeah.
You can check the names real
you want me to
quick.
sign it?
Hmm?
Do you want me to sign it?
Will it take you long to sign in your email?
Because there's a video that we really wanted to show you from.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
There's no big one tonight. Yep, Miss Brandy.
Every more fun. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna still use this, but then I'm gonna sign in for you. and stuff, you know?
Why don't we do the cultivating kindness all this?
We can do that.
We're gonna be come back in one second. Thank you.
Want to do it? FBLA?
Sure. Yes.
Let's do we're gonna go to FBLA next.
Okay, if you do just sign it on your
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Casey Raymond. I am the FBLA advisor. I brought my officer, a couple of my officers with me today. When I started back in Grandview about 8 years ago-ish, it was a very prominent DECA organization at the high school. And so we wanted to bring back FBLA. We started that in about 2019, and then COVID hit. So we had to put that kind of on pause for a little bit. When we were able to get back up and start competing again in 2022, that's the first time we qualified 3 students for state FBLA in over 20 years for Grandview High School. So we've been progressively working forward. Each year gets a little bit better. We make some changes to it. This year, and working with Angel Abarca at the high school, we were able to move the computer science and his information technology classes from the TSA umbrella to the FBLA umbrella. We were learning that because of cybersecurity and all of the information technology that all the businesses have to operate, as we've seen all the technology that we use for the school, that it was a better fit. So actually this year was the first year we were able to actually qualify another student in cybersecurity from the computer science department for the first time ever, and that was Tyson Morris. So Grady and Case are going to give you a little bit of background about what we've been doing, what we have coming up in the next couple of weeks, and kind of some ideas that they have for the future of FBLA.
So I'm our FBLA treasurer, so I get to run all of the money and make sure that our finances and our fundraisers all match up. And one of the fundraisers that we will be doing in the future is a partnership with Drama to have a student staff alumni talent show, I guess you could call it, where they come in and show some of the talents that they have that people might not know. And it'll give students who aren't really outgoing and kind of more in their own area an opportunity to show what they're good at. And in April we will be competing at the state leadership conference in Spokane, and including Tyson, Case and I qualified in sales presentation. Kaylee Flores qualified in her 2 events, and Paisley McGinnis qualified in both of hers.
My name is Case Judkins. I'm the FBLA president. For some old news, we had our regional competition on January 30th, I believe it was. And we're pretty small clubs. We only took six of us. Out of the 6 of us that went, though, it was 5 of us made the state. So that was pretty cool. I think to make state, you need to make top 6 in your event. So we all did pretty good. And out of the 5 of us that made state, 2 of us are first-year competitors. So it was really good time for us. For some upcoming news, we have a upcoming Trick or Cherries fundraiser that'll be taking place March 2nd through the 25th, I believe. And yeah, that pretty much sums up. That's about it.
These 2 are actually 2-time state qualifiers for FBLA. So
What do you have to do to qualify? Tell us about your.
We created like a Google Slides presentation about a product that we found on the internet under like the Scrub Daddy umbrella.
It's called Screen Daddy. It's right here on my phone. I can sell it for you guys right now.
So we compete in sales presentation, which is essentially Shark Tank, and we find a product, we do research on it, and we kind of create our own little thing on how we want to market it and sell it, and then we present it essentially to a group of 2 or 3 people. And this year we placed 6th.
Yeah.
And the goal is to go to nationals in San Antonio.
So at state, will you do the same product?
Yes.
Yes. We pretty much just improve our slides each year and make them better and better. So
The Screen Dad is going away.
we're trying. We're trying.
Where do you have to place at state to be able to go to nationals?
So there's like a first round and like a final round. You make it through the first round, you'll compete in the finals on Thursday and Friday. And then after that, I think you place in the top 3 or 4 and you get to go to nationals.
last year they competed against, there were 2,800 high school students across the state that completed for FBLA.
Wow. Okay.
Where's nationals?
San Antonio.
You said that nice.
Nice.
Any questions?
Any questions? Nice, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back to SAC if we're ready.
It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. If we would have just moved your guys' name down one, we would have just had it perfect.
Well, pretty much that was everything that I had already said previously. This was just, like all the main things about, our student summit that we had. And this is, I also did kind of fail to talk about that, but all of our breakout sessions were student led. Everything was student led from the moment like they came inside, like we told them where to go sit down. We were the ones like, saying good morning, like, how are you doing? And then until they left. Like everything was student led, you know, besides having to have the adults watch us, so we didn't do anything naughty, but yeah, it was pretty good. I thought that it had a very good outcome. Like, I feel like in a lot of the breakout rooms, like good conversations were being had. Like, I think it went very well. And also I kind of like created it or whatever, but yeah.
These are actually some pictures from the Student Leadership Summit that we did host and have. There was multiple different breakout sessions. We split up each students from different schools just so you hear different student voices. We had them bundle up into groups. There was 4 total breakout sessions that they got to participate in. Talk. There was a lot of moving around, so it was very active and mobile. And it was a very fun experience. I myself got to hear a lot of student voice and a lot of like problems out of the schools and different perspectives. And it was a very cool experience to see what other people think and like how other schools interact with each other versus how we take it from our perspective. And it was a pretty cool experience to have. And I wish we can do it again, hopefully.
So, the thing that we really wanted to do to like have a memory is we made like a video, and people from like all the schools that came, there's even some teachers, they had like a question saying, what does student voice mean to you? And Richie Lara, he's part of the SAC. His sister is actually the mayor. So if you guys don't know him, you guys know his sister. And he made this like really cool video, so you guys can watch it.
What is the student voice? Students have inclusivity and tolerance. To do it means that my students have the opportunity to what they can teach in their environment, have the opportunity to really have a say in their everyday life. That's standing up for what you believe for, advocate for myself and others. Power. Student voice means like students speaking out about their problems and their struggles that they are happy and speaking for those who have resistance. Being able to voice your strategies, needs, students feel power, they have big say and make decisions. I think that student voice is so important to have. If we don't, then what are we even doing here? It's like being able to express yourself and like say what you have to say. It's having a say in your school and or speaking up for those who can. Student voice means to advocate for yourself and others. Well, just make your opinions and your decisions. Your voice for good.
If I think student voice matters because everybody puts their forward in what they say. Using your voice to reach other students. Giving the students the chance to have an opinion or say certain decisions for like the school or something.
What student voice can say is have the same amount of like say as any other adult, and I think that's really important because that would create like a safer environment for the whole district. Everyone is equal, so I feel like everyone should have a say in what they do and anything they want.
Like students like opportunities to do at events and the system.
Student voice means giving students opportunities for their opinions to be heard.
Student voice means participating in change.
You get to express yourself. Don't let that negativity like expect you when you're expressing. It's just good to express it and to know that you actually listen and care about the youth. To be student voice means that you're expressing yourself to shape your surroundings and how your life. Purpose of your education. That you're able to talk about your struggles, what you're going through at school, the situations that you're going through. You know, like having a voice is speaking, but and stand up for others. Like others, like that are
Well, you know, education exists for the students. We either have the option of doing something to them, or doing it with them. And if we do it to them, we're gonna get pushback, we're probably not gonna give them what they actually want in the first place. And so student voice means that we hear what students truly want, hear the reality. As adults, we need to be vulnerable and humble enough to listen to them telling us, hey, this sucks, fix it, or this is awesome, let's do more of this. And that takes a lot of courage sometimes for adults, and we oftentimes don't want to be vulnerable and admit this kids might do more than we do, but most of the time they do, especially if they're learning. And so that's what student voice needs to be. It means we listen to them and we take action based on that. Yeah.
Mind you, all those kids did that willingly. Like they all went up to that camera and talked. We didn't see them do it.
Even that guy at the end?
Oh,
yeah. That was my 8th take. Oh, okay.
So that, and then we also are planning on getting some new members by the end of this year, hopefully, and we are gonna get some new leads because 4 of us out of the like 6 of us are seniors, so we are gonna need to get some new leads, but yeah, and then we hope to do other future stuff like this. We are also planning some other cool things, but those are top secret, you know, you won't find them. That's pretty much it.
Any questions?
I just would like to say, I went to that event and watched our kids put that on, and I was pretty impressed. You guys did a great job. My camera shy.
I went to, and I was so impressed with how well they treated and welcoming they were to the students coming in the doors and giving them breakfast items and asking them what they needed. They were just so kind and welcoming. It was just such a great representation.
I think Rob had the quote of the day when I was talking to him, when I was telling him how impressed I was with our kids, and he says, kids can do great things if the adults just get out of the way.
Right.
So.
True, isn't it?
Yep.
Not your parents.
They can also be naughty. You admitted that. You said the adults had to be around so you didn't do naughty things.
It's not.
Oh.
But something that we noticed during the whole day too, I think I mentioned it to Dr. Darling, like I almost didn't know what to do with myself because they were just took control. And so I was just able to kind of sit back and enjoy the experience as the adult and as the advisor. And it was awesome to see it and just come to fruition. And I got to relax that day. It was kind of nice. So, yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
You guys gonna get a picture real quick?
Yeah, let me get a quick picture. One earlier when you were standing up the door.
Did you get that thing?
No,
Thought you were gonna.
I know.
You
She came in
coward.
late. She came in late.
Josie, he was gonna give you the evaluation thing. You came in late, so you got to miss it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're gonna move on to cultivating kindness. Amy's turn.
Yeah, so afterwards, just please hang tight and so I could get a picture of you in the hallway with your awards and certificate. So this is cultivating kindness. People nominate people throughout our district, so community members, teachers, and admin. They can nominate anybody they like, who they see as expressing kindness, positivity to our students and our families. So the very first winner of the Cultivating Kindness Award for this month is Anna Lilia Komar. You were nominated by Autumn Sleeper. Oh, you know who that is? Yes, Autumn. I believe she emailed me. I just have to recall. I couldn't make it, but she said she doesn't mind me telling you who it is.
Oh, yes,
And of course,
she's our amazing nurse.
Oh.
We absolutely love her and
This is about you, not her.
Oh, no, she does mention you are very yes. Okay, so Analia has an infectious and energetic spirit. Clear. Whether she is calling buses on the crosswalk, on the playground, in the classroom, or calling bingo at a staff holiday celebration, she makes all experiences fun and memorable. And don't even get me started on spirit days. She goes above and beyond to demonstrate kindness to her peers and students as well. Anna Lilia has been a wonderful addition to HG this year. Had insurance. Thank you, thank you. We want to continue with positivity and kindness.
I love
so
it.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for being
For the
here.
other two. Thank you. Okay, the next person who is the winner for the Cultivating Kindness is Brizzy Alvarez. Brizzy. Brizzy is a counseling assistant to Monica over at our students. Thank you for Cultivating Kindness. You were nominated by Monica Gomez. And this is what she had to say about you. Since Brizzy joined our counseling team this school year, she has gone above and beyond in any task she is tasked with. She has taken our Hope Squad in our building and is consistently doing activities with these school leaders. Brizzy is constantly sought out by students and staff throughout the day, providing support in any way she can. I am so blessed to be working along such a hard-working and dedicated individual. Thank you. That has a gift bag for you. And just I'll take a picture. I'll bring you just so much. Thank you. And last but certainly not. He loves being in there. How you happen? It's so awesome. Okay. Last but certainly not least is Bryce Armstrong. He is our core counselor. You were nominated. She didn't give her last name. Do you know Roxanne?
Student or
Parent.
I
But this
don't
is what
think
she-
so, no.
okay, yeah, it was great. She didn't put, very patient with my child. At the beginning of the school year, my daughter was comfortable with him right away, walking her to her classes.
yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
Some days aren't easy for her. But when she sees Mr. Armstrong, she is all of a sudden better, and especially because he's able to walk her to class. So thank you.
Thank
So that
you.
was, yeah, I don't know.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you so much. You're the best.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so let's got that, and we'll go outside and take a photo.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Amy.
Great, thanks.
All right.
You got to see some great presentations too, so it's really nice. Awesome. Okay, moving right along. We'll keep things going. We're gonna go to the consent agenda.
Make a motion
to approve. Can,
We want to have some, is there
Can we
any
just-
comments or questions on the consent?
yes,
agenda?
I have a couple questions on travel requests. So we have three of them that don't meet the criteria on the top of the form for being submitted on time. And we got a couple of responses when I reached out, and they're blaming the system, and the funding was held up, and the system doesn't work very well. And so I guess I'd like to know what the system is and how it works, if that's possible.
So, yeah, and actually one of them that is having the hardest time being late is not using the system.
So you can't blame the system.
So-
Josie, will you come up, sorry we're calling an audible. Can you come up and explain a little bit what and why we?
So one of the statements that was made in the response I got was that district funding had been put on hold.
So let
for
me
travel.
unpack that piece so that you can get back to this.
Okay.
So when we budgeted FTEs, we budgeted 320 FTEs in the high school.
Mhm.
They only have 300. And every student works about 10,000, that's $200,000 that they're short. And so that's one piece of it.
Okay.
The middle
CTE program.
CTE, I'm just talking
okay.
about CTE, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Clarify, yeah, CTE. And then at the middle school, we had budgeted 45 FTEs
Okay.
which they had 44 FTEs last year with 2 teachers. This year they added a 3rd teacher and their FTE is only at 38.
Okay.
So they're 70,000 lower when they should have been probably closer to 55 or 60 FTEs. I was
Okay.
conservative at the 45.
Right.
So that has that $70,000 from the 45 down to 38 is a $70,000 also a reduction with what they have coming through. And they had done some other positive things at the middle school, bought some computers for their labs within the CT, which was definitely needed. That was needed. Let's keep this thing moving. But then that puts them a little bit upside down. And this year allows them to, working with Betty, and allows them to blend the $2 between the high school and the middle school to be able to offset the 2. This is the first year that they can do that. And they're taking a look at those 2. And so that's what the holdup was. Not so much a holdup as it is, well, let's go back and take a look and see, okay, what is really available? There's still dollars available, but at what point and which ones? And so she was working through the direction I'd given Betty is go back and take a look and see, you have this grant, we call the Perkins grant, and see which pieces in your entire budget that could be moved into Perkins. It wouldn't necessarily have to be this trip. I saw this one came back and the response was go to Perkins for this trip, but it could have been anything else switching funding between would have been out of the local CTE and move it to Perkins. And this part was in there. And then she went back and whatever transpires at that level is what her response was. But I'm trying to give you a little background.
No, I understand. So that was happening in the time
that happened at the end of January, the first part of February.
And that's when this was supposedly sent in. Okay. And the whole reason I'm questioning some of the timing on this stuff, you didn't come out and say this at our last meeting, but when we had that one with the track coaches that was excessively late, and we said we'd like to have it be known, travel requests need to be submitted on time, you looked at the board and said, thank you. So I'm assuming it's creating a challenge, let's go with. So I don't want to keep kids from going to their state competitions, but at some point we're going to have to draw a line in the sand if we don't have a system that they can't work through in a timely manner.
And we have for many years, ones that if they're going to go to state, they may not know except for like 2 weeks before.
Well, I understand.
And we have bent over backwards and just made them happen, when we've worked with the board for many years, and we can just say, well, hey, we need to get this thing moving. We don't have enough time. Others that do have time, they're going to go to a conference. Those I'm going to say generally speaking, know in advance and they can meet the requirements. And any other time that they're going to be gone, they can. And we've talked to them over the years about estimating hotels, estimating travel, so they can at least get the paper through the system to say, here's what's going to happen. This is the travel we're going to go here. Can we get approval to go? And at the last minute, we will know instead of 10 students, we're going to take 8 going to state or whatever it is through like a DECA, FBLA, those types of things. So we're still going to continue to do things like that to assist to make it happen.
So what was up with the comment that was made by the advisor that said, we fundraise and we don't need their money anyway? Pretty much in a roundabout way was, we fundraise and we have our own money. I don't know why we were kind of put on hold. That really didn't really comprehend that too much. Yet you list CTE and grants on there, yet you want to make a comment that you make your own money and don't need your funding, but yet we do.
And that's the case because that is DECA. They do have their own money. So I had that when it came in a little bit later, I'm going, well, the funding, I didn't know that until she responded. When she responded and answered that question, I was not aware that that's what her holdup was. You follow me? I mean, I've been working with Betty. They go back and take care of it to Betty. But I'm trying to answer your question. That is true. They do have money. They pay for the students. The students are able to travel with the money they've raised because DECA has their own DECA stores, right? So they're fine. And then we pay for the advisors. And I changed that many years ago. Many years ago, they required that even the advisor be paid out of ASB. And I changed this many years ago. Probably my second year being here. No, wait a minute here. Why are they having to pay for the advisor? We'll pay for the advisor, using the CT and those types of things. So I'm answering your question. That piece was, they had the funds ready to go. I think the other piece was just going back and taking a look at our budget, Betty, and then saying, okay, what are we going to do to fund these other little pieces? And I never received a phone call or anything back after I had the discussion with Betty, which is after apportionment came out in January. So it's after, the last week of January, first part of February, when we looked at actual numbers. January is when live apportionment comes out.
Right.
Our allocations, they've gone live with enrollments, everything else, and now it's actual payments from the state. Where the first 4 months, September, October, November, and December, are based upon our budget.
Okay. It
Was that-
just, that's
It's-
particular travel request said it was initiated on the 20th of January. And it wasn't received by Sabrina until the 18th of February. So,
And I don't even see it. It was at the high school level.
okay.
So,
Ben, will you talk about that part?
Yeah, so summertime, the high school principal came to me and was basically like, hey, we're struggling with this process, the travel request process. If you don't know, it's quite a bear when it comes to the amount of forms that are required to be completed for these teachers and these staff members. It's just, it is what it is, right? Those things have to be submitted. So what we did is we help manage the frontline system, which is also a forms management system. Probably about 90% of HR's forms are routed electronically now using that system. So we were able to build the forms as they sat in paper exactly into Frontline. So nothing changed on the forms necessarily unless there were like a few updates, but the forms were recreated electronically and now able to be tracked when they're submitted instead of like a packet of paper going to multiple people for signatures and then routed up to the district office. I think they were running into issues with, things being lost or maybe people not getting them in on time then. So we, this is new. It's a new process. As part of the rollout, we did request that the high school have people complete electronic and paper format for the time being while we are piloting, so that we can make sure that we work out any of the kinks that might be in the forms. I'll tell you this. It took Fabi, who is the HR specialist, a really long time to build these forms and a lot of phone calls with Frontline because the processes were so complicated at the high school that it maxed out the logic that Frontline could offer. It was the most complicated form packet they'd ever seen built in their system.
Yes.
And so, we definitely are trying our best with making sure that that fits everybody's needs. And I think we're at a point now where we've seen at least 4 or 5 travel packets processed that way. Again, I want to reiterate, we did ask that they do paper and electronic during that pilot period. And for whatever reason, that was lost in translation. So I think some of those things maybe were just being submitted electronically.
Because this one was not done electronically.
So I don't have the details on this one, but Fabi did touch base with me briefly and said, I just want you to know there was a complaint about the system, but this is actually what happened. And it was that this particular form wasn't, I think she's had trouble, she said, with other ones that she's dealt with and was saying that they're applicable to this particular packet, but apparently this particular packet wasn't submitted via Frontline. So I don't know how that relates, but I also don't have the details, so I don't want to comment. Okay. So anyway, we've been working and there may still be hiccups, but I think we're really close to it being successful. People are just having trouble with things being denied because they're incorrect or incomplete, where in the past, maybe we would have just kind of helped them fill them out and push them along, and now they're being rerouted back, which is taking extra time for them to complete them. And that's training, right? That's making sure that these things are complete and it's discipline, right? And making sure that they're completing them correctly. So there's a bit of frustration with that, I think, in that people are just saying no instead of let me do this for you. And people will learn to do them correctly, I think, in the future. And it'll be a much quicker, easier to track process, but it's gonna have some growing pains.
Yeah, and the prompt to digitize this initiated from the end users. They said, we need to, how can we track this better so we can see whose desk it's being held up on?
And
Thank you.
Some of the forms you don't see in there, and Josie can elaborate, is you have parent permission forms. When we say it's elaborate, is because, which you don't even see on this piece of this one, you have parent permission forms.
They have to upload those now.
They have to upload and they have other permission forms, they have multiple permission forms. It wasn't just the financial and the POs, it was all these other pieces. Okay, have you done this piece of paper? Have you done your request for a sub? Have you, what else is that? Transportation form, because we made this packet many years ago because there were major issues. I'm glad we're going electronic now. This is good, and it's growing pains.
Yeah.
But we put it together because years ago, oh my gosh, somebody would go travel somewhere and they go, hey, I'm here. Where's my hotel? I said, would you do a requisition? Well, I think I did. Well, they hadn't done one. So we put this as a cover sheet. This is probably my second year again. put a cover sheet together. Here's all the things you know, so we know you'll have your registration will be done. You know you'll have your hotel room. We know which kids you'll have your vehicle request in the system because they go to get a vehicle and they have. So everything was brought together, and that's, I know it's kind of complicated, but it was there to make their travel smooth when they finally go to travel.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But I'm gonna say one thing. This is far from her first travel request submitted because we've approved a ton of them.
Anyway, I appreciate the information on the system. Okay, it makes sense to me now why this batch probably had some issues, especially if things weren't exactly right and it got kicked back to them. So that answers all my questions.
There's gonna be some,
Okay.
I think, so just. You have to be a little bit patient, but
Okay.
eventually it'll need to be a headline.
Okay.
And we do just, you know, and I appreciate that you're looking at the top performer, it says 3 weeks if it requires board approval. You're still gonna see some that are coming through a week before. Because we're bending over backwards to make it happen.
Right.
And
But
just so.
what I would like to see, Brad, on that though, is if you guys know about it ahead of time, come to us at a meeting prior and say, you know, like this has happened before where Rob's given me a heads up that, hey, this just came through or something, but hey, we're working on this, but we don't know if we're gonna have the funding for this, just letting you know that you're not gonna get it till this time. I don't think anybody would have an issue with it. It's really though, what caught me off the whole thing was we just had the issue with the one the week before. And then all of a sudden the next one comes out and I'm looking at it going, no, wait a minute.
Yeah, and when I see it was started on the 20th of January and it didn't hit the office up here till the 18th of February, it makes me think that now that I know all the steps, makes me think, because I see the next two were received up here 2 days after they were initiated. So if I go down here to, what one is it?
The middle school
Well,
one.
And she may have said the 20th on here, but that means
But
that's
I
the day she sat down and started typing
They
it.
can only go by the dates that they put on the
Right,
forms.
but that doesn't mean that she handed even to the high school staff until the 31st, maybe.
Agreed, but still.
I'm just trying to give you context.
She started the process.
And I'm not trying to single her out. That just happens to be the one. Anyway, no, thank you for the information. I'm happy with it now.
We're more than willing to
Yeah,
unpack
if you have
all of it.
questions,
Any
let me know.
questions you
I'll
guys
show you
have,
the-
follow up.
Well, I understand there's a little revamping to this going down. Aren't you working on something?
The travel policy.
Yes, so.
Okay.
Um,
And I'd like to see at the top of this form or in the policy where it says it must be turned in 3 weeks prior to travel date or earlier if board approval is required for out of state. You know, and everybody assumes that means 4 weeks. That technically only means 22 days. So I'd like to see that
1-2 school days, yeah.
or 4 weeks, or not just assume it's 4 weeks. And I think that should be spelled out.
all right, Trey, now we can go to,
Yeah.
unless you got any questions.
I guess, man, is there a different process we can do that kind of helps everything? Because I guess what we're trying to do is make it easier on you guys having to not bend over backwards in a sense, to where it makes it a little, get the teachers on board with, if they know they're going to be doing it, then initiate it sooner rather than later. And I get everybody's got stuff going on and stuff, but it's not fair to you guys for them to kick it out a week before and then make you guys jump through the hoops or stay late to get it done because of their neglect. So is there something that you could do it to where they have to essentially, if they know they're gonna be doing something, start on this tracking on the thing that they can track exactly when they started it to when they finished it?
And for an example like this, they know when state is. So they could have said, we're gonna be going to state. We approve us to go to state. We don't know how many students are here. I've just brainstormed that these things could have,
Yeah.
you know, and probably if we're going to ask to say, well, but I don't have all my paperwork. Yes, but you should have gotten board approval to say, hey, this is gonna happen in state. I'm gonna take some people in.
Yeah, something like
And I
that.
know you want costs, but maybe you would do a follow-up to see what the cost is of
Yeah.
approving travel, but I don't know, I'm just brainstorming.
Right.
Approving travel pending what the cost might be.
Essentially like what Jesse did with the computers, like bringing something like this is an estimate. and then, hey, here's actually what it is, but prior approval, something like that, that it'd be a lot easier.
The ones that know they have state, like this type of thing, it's every year, it's at the same time. It's
Yeah.
kind of like us going to WASDA. We plan for it ahead of time. I can understand if a kid throws a discus an extra 4 yards and gets to go to state and it's out in the, nobody ever expected it to happen and we got to run through some hoops or something. I
Yeah.
get it. Or a kid doing, art and got to go to, I get it. There's always
Yeah.
something, but the other ones just, I don't know. They're the same thing every year. Okay, now,
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we can move on to 8 finally. Okay, so this is the superintendent evaluation. So I want to explain a little bit what we kind of talked about last time. Heather was involved. She did send me a form. Elena sent me an email that she would like to abstain from this because she felt she had not been on it long enough. I did talk to her and I said there is things in there which, according to Heather's email, maybe we need to look at a little bit of how we track, or she was saying there was some things she couldn't find. Did you read her email? Did she send it to you or only to me? Okay, I'll talk to you about it afterward. If we had a place that all of our evaluations went into, and then when Rob does send this out to us next time, maybe we have access to that, kind of like what she asked for. But I think if we put it in there all the time, every time we do it, and it goes into this folder, and then you could send the folder or we have access to the folder, then we could look back at all of the evaluations that we did and look at comments and different things. And actually that would help with new members, because I mean, there's a chance you could have 3 new members. And then how do you do an evaluation? If you were able to go back and look at what everybody had done and see the evidence and everything, I think that would really put it in perspective, and you could do an evaluation based on that. So I think it would help us in the future. But so what I plan on doing with this is, God, I got so much crap up here, is I have all of your guys' stuff. Heather sent me hers. I have your guys', I have mine. I'm going to tally that onto a master. I'm going to sit down with Rob before the next meeting, go over it. We're going to have an executive session at the next meeting where we can talk about it, talk with Rob about it. If we have any more questions or concerns about it, then we'll go into public and approve the evaluation or disapprove it. I don't want to say. But anyway, that's kind of the plan. So you guys all turn them in to me. I'm going to tally them onto a master. In fact, can you send this to me, Word? Or do we have it? Yeah, then I'll just do it on the computer. It'll look a lot better than my ugly handwriting. And then we'll all sign the evaluation too. I'll bring the master copy when we have our executive session at the next meeting. If we all approve it, we'll all sign it and it'll go in the file with all the stuff. Does that make sense to everybody, I hope?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So that's the end of the evaluation portion. Now we're gonna go to the least least dark fiber service for maintenance buildings. Is that you? Your name wasn't on here. Most of the time they have a name that I go to, but I don't know. Do we have any questions for him? Because it just says we're gonna do a motion for it, so.
It's just something that I read through it. You're just updating a service we already have, right?
Yeah.
The election of services. We gotta put it out for RFP.
Right.
To stay compliant with all the state bid law requirements.
Yep.
You're right.
Then you suggested the least expensive one, so
So do we have a
I
motion?
make a motion to approve.
I second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll go to.
Thank you,
this is probably
Jesse, for your hard work.
It's probably
Yes,
you
thank you,
again.
Jesse.
Network switch refresh.
I make a motion to approve.
I second it.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
We just blew through Jesse's hard work. We probably spent months putting this together.
Never mind.
Have a nice evening,
You
Jesse.
never know. Okay, Superintendent, your report update.
Right. First and foremost, the levy has been validated and finalized, and we got over 60% success rate for this levy. So huge shout out to our community. Big thanks to Stacy for all of her support. She was one of a handful of the mighty that helped carry a lot of load around public information sharing and being proactive in creating posts. And so it was got a lot of good feedback from it. On that note, I'm passing around a letter that we received from the State Representative Gloria Mendoza, congratulating us on a successful levy passage and acknowledging all your hard work and the work of the school district. And so that was great to see. As FYI, last time we met, Brad shared a little bit about House Bill 2116 that was proposing lifting the levy lid from $1.50 to $2 per thousand. That has died on the vine as of now, but they are still trying to figure out how to write that into law. So it probably won't go through this year in any way, shape, or form, but next year we're going to continue to fight that battle. So just be on the lookout for that. We visited Connell, me, Derek, and Betty went over there on Friday, and I shared with you, not only did they bring home some stuff, some little squishies for you, but brought home a flyer. What they do is they have an ag teacher who got certified through Walla Walla College to be a instructor. And so it's you can only take it your senior year, and you have to either be 18 already or turning 18 during the program. And you do your pre-certification program all through the school district. So it's and then they also get, the way they have a design is they also earn their first aid certificate and also their forklift certification through the program, because most truck drivers have to learn how to load and unload as well. So so what they do is they then, when they're done, they receive grants to pay for the testing and such, so students can earn their CDL start to finish with zero cost to them. We are looking at finding out how can we start a program on a smaller scale, partnering with Gloria, and possibly doing a site work-based program where we send students to her that counts towards internship, but they also get to do the program at the same time. So Derek's looking into contacting OSPI to find out if we can make that work, because if we can, the low overhead for us. It'll just be, we have to pay for whatever partnership we have with her to each of those students. And then from there, as the program starts to grow, we then purchase the simulator. We then purchase our own program. We then hire an ag teacher who teaches 2 or 3 courses of this a day, certified, so we do it all in-house. But it's exciting. So we learned that there are 4 districts in the state that currently offer this. All of them, I believe, except for one, are on this part of the state. Othello and Findlay and Kybee and Connell. And then Burbank wants to, they just don't have the staffing for it yet. That's Columbia, right outside Tri-Cities. And so there's definitely a need over here for it, especially with us and Thundering was the distribution center. And so, yeah, so we're excited about that. So
Didn't Gary want to get involved in this a little bit?
yeah.
But he's actually possibly trying to work together with Prosser, Sunnyside, Grandview, or?
Yeah, so he wants us to figure out how we can help support the region. And so we're gonna start with Gloria, and then we know that Ryan and Kim and probably Elise will be interested in the city. Maybe we offer it this last period of the day or the first period of the day. Instead of going to YV Tech for a program, they come here for our program, and we share that little portion of the FDE, and then they go back. And so, yeah, there's a lot of exciting possibilities with this.
There's a nice area right down here that could be a driving area right down here. The big lot that's down there.
Yeah.
Drive around and.
Yeah, we have.
Gary can donate a truck to us, and man, I'm gonna have to talk to the Rotary.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a great visit. We're excited about that. And I sent you all a copy of the March strategic plan highlight. It's gonna show off our industry recognized certifications. And then I provided you with a report. You don't have to read it now, but some of my key takeaways from the AASA conference. It was a good conference. I was telling Dan that there's probably 200 vendors there. 90% of them are either AI or school safety related. So obviously that was a huge focus in education right now. I personally gained 7 pounds while we were there. And I would tell my sessions, I was just eating dinner offsite. I'm sitting there one day, I get a text from my 13-year-old goes, "Dad, you were missing the best biscuits in the world." That's all he sent me. And so like, what did so my kids really enjoyed it too. They ate really well. Upcoming events, it's a basketball tournament starts this week. So Saturday, the boys are at Kelso playing RA Long, the #1 rated team in the state, that completely undefeated.
Number 2.
Well, the #2 seeding, but they've been #1
seeding. I know.
RPI all year. I think we're the dark horse. I think I mean, if we're gonna have to get them anyway, might as well do it in the first game. And
there you go.
You know,
and they have Mark Morris and Ari Long have always done well in league, but they've struggled when it comes to the tournament
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
they just don't. I don't know if they play as hard of teams. I don't know. It just
Some of those West Side boys aren't used to running like we are.
Yeah.
And we can run.
It's more
And
of a-
then, yeah, so the way, if we play like we played against Sela, this is gonna be tough, we're gonna be tough to beat. You know, it was, that Sela game was super impressive. Unified is at state, they're gonna be at Eastmont / Wenatchee on Saturday as well, so there's a send off for them on Friday with the basketball team.
What time is that?
Send off.
10:30 at the district.
10:30 at
10:30?
here, but what time do you know at the high school, do you know?
9.
I'll find that time for you,
9:30,
because they're gonna do a walk around the high school halls with both teams together.
nice.
Send them off.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, let me know what time that
Yeah,
is.
when we're done with this, I'll find the time. And then Friday the 6th is in the middle school teacher in service day. 2 board meetings, parent conferences, no, already at spring break.
Jeez.
That's my
Year's
report.
gonna be over.
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, we will move on to EL 17, which I have our deal here. I don't know why this is on here. Okay, go away. So the one thing I don't understand is it says it had comments, but I don't
couldn't see it.
see the comments. But I'm gonna tell you right now that the comments were from me. And what my comment was, because it was kind of more on the age appropriate dress codes and can be enforced and things like that, that I have to tell you that I've been to the high school and the middle school, and I do not think that is very well enforced. That's a personal opinion, but I have witnessed it personally, so that's the reason I actually put it on there, because I have witnessed it. And I've actually made a comment a couple times to a couple people when I was up there, and it just kind of whatever. So anyway, that was my comment. I think that was the only comment. Yeah. Everything else. I don't know what this comment was. What's this one? Oh, failed to ensure the code is enforced or failed to take appropriate. If this was about the cell phones, I don't think that is either. That's just another one that I've observed. So anyway, do we have a motion on this or any other questions or comments on it?
I make a motion to approve.
As is?
As is.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, so board assessment, did you get her done, Chuck? You wouldn't let Josie do it. You were talking all tough, and then when she came in, you wouldn't do it. If you come to our meeting next time, Stacy, we're gonna have you do the board assessment. Honestly, they actually encourage you to have people out there do it because it's more neutral. And you can
let us have them.
That's right.
Social media.
You got live tweet it.
Should some video, we just don't do that.
Yeah, but not yet.
It's okay.
Okay, Chuck gave us good reviews, put it in the packet. All right. The FYIs, everybody's seen the FYIs? Anybody have any questions on those? The stuff you send out, Brad, we didn't need to talk about that. We just added to it. Everybody was given a copy and that was back in the consent agenda anyway, so.
Yeah. You put them.
And it'll already be part of the packet when it comes out. Okay, we're gonna move to executive session. So it was nice seeing you tonight.
Yes. Thanks for coming, Stacey.
Thanks.
Actually, like 30 minutes.
No.